Hello to you all. Here we are once again with another video. In this case, I'm going to speak about my altcoin strategy. As you guys already know, one week ago, more or less, or 2 weeks, I developed the domino strategy, which was adopted for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I decided to make some modifications into it and adapt it to the other altcoins as well. We are still going to use the main components that we have in the initial strategy, but the big change that we have in this case is that I'm using as a candle, the market and as a market sentiment and as a volume, instead of using the values that we have for the candle, like for example, let's go in LTC USDT. Instead of using this, I'm using all these values from the crypto market, from the total crypto market. So in this case, I'm taking the volume from the crypto market, I'm taking the high low for the crypto market, and so on. And I adapted, I made like a singular version to say like this, that it can work with all these pairs, which like for example you will find here like ADA, BNB, XRP, DOT, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Link, XLM, EOS, and Tron. And at the same time, with some optimization, that you have in the risk management, you can achieve even better results. However, I'm going to let it like this for now, and each one of you is free to do, some changes if you guys prefer. But for the logic, and for the entry and for length and all these stuff, I recommend to keep it like this, and just change and make some changes inside the entry numbers and inside, the risk management. Yeah, in this case I adapted, you can see it works both long and short. In this case I'm using for very short entries. On the short, we just want to enter and exit very fast. And instead of long, I'm going to leave it and take all the trend. At the same time, I decided, compared to the other version, to put a stop loss, for the long entries, because here we have much bigger volatilities that we have in the Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we don't want to have like 10% or 20% losses that can happen, with these altcoins. So instead we are going to to stop that, by using these stop loss. And at the same time, remember one more time that just because you see this number, it doesn't mean that it's going to close when it's going to hit this value, but instead it will always close, on the next candle. Always remember this. So imagine, for example, for 4.5 in this current candle, we are going to cross that value and we are going to close on the next one. If you want to use these exact values, then you should use, instead of exiting based on my strategy, then you should exit, based on the 3 commas. So yeah, as in order to create it, you remember we have the same stuff like like in the other bot, we will have long exit, short exit, and you can watch the Domino's videos, and there I'm explaining how to make a future bot. And the settings and everything that you have it. The only thing that I forgot to tell you there is that you will have to use a delay on the long entry, and on the short entry I recommend 5 seconds. I think is more than enough. All the others, it's more than okay. And then for the pairs in general, I took the best pairs from the top 25 list. Maybe you can take some others, and probably it can be adapted to some of those as well. But let's take a look, for example. So we are on Litecoin, like I said, let's take some of them. So we can see Litecoin in this case, we are beating by 10 times without using any leverage. Let's take another one. Let's take, for example, other USDT. In other USDT, for example, we go 8.3, and we can see as well, we beat it by almost 2 times. However, like I said, if you are going to play a little bit with the setting, like for example, you can place a stop loss of 5 instead of 5.5, instead of 4.5, or you are going to increase as well the TP for the short entries to 5.5 or 6, and then as well for this one, you can see that we can achieve even better results. In this case, beating it, by 2 times entirely. If we go with BNB USDT, we can see the same stuff. Let's use the default settings. So the default settings were 4.5 and 5, and in this case 3. Or 2.5 it was, yeah, it was this one. You can see as well, in case of BNB, we beat it by 4 times. Let's take another one. Let's take, for example, LTC USDT. LTC USDT AM, sorry, we already had this one. Let's take Bitcoin Cash USDT. In case of Bitcoin Cash USDT, the same stuff. We beat it by 20 times, more or less like Litecoin. Amazing run. Let's take another one. Let's take, for example, XRP USDT. XRP USDT, you can see 600 compared to 400, we beat it with some optimization. Of course, it can achieve even better. I don't know, let's take a look at EOS USDT. EOS USDT, you can see 900% compared to 150, so beating it by 7 times, more or less, 6.5. Tron USDT, same stuff. You can see 470, we have 101.1 thousand, so we beat it as well. And I don't know, Link, let's check Link as well. Link USDT, you can see this one, unfortunately, it doesn't go. The buy and hold is better, but always you can remember that you can also go with a little bit of leverage, and if you do that, you are going to destroy no, sorry, not the entry numbers, the leverage. And if you do that, you can see that you can destroy it. But yeah, it's a risk that you have to play with if you want to use leverage or not. But taking into consideration that we have such a short drawdown, maybe you can use a 1.5 or a 2 leverage. So yeah, don't forget, I recommend that you are going to use the settings for the for the Bitcoin itself. So for example, let's take for example change on the Bitcoin. You can see we don't have so great results in this case. Or let's say for example ATH USDT. In case of ATH USDT, you can see we have, but we do have a good drawdown though, So but in this case, we can only beat it by 5 times. So I recommend better in this case to go with the other version. So for example, we wouldn't use this, and we will have this here 6, I believe, and we have some settings. I don't remember them honestly right now. But if we go, for example, 2019, yeah, in this case, we can see that we have less results, less winnings, than we would have normally with the other one. You can see, for example, here. So if I will go with Dominus ATH, you can see with Dominus ATH in this case, if I go for 2020. So let's go with 2020. You can see that we have 35,000 compared with 6.5 thousand, and the same for BTC. We have much better version on ATH and BTC. So meaning that, like I said, it's better, to stay with these settings, and with Dominus for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and with this one you can go for the altcoins. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and if you have any question, you know how to find me. I'm going to put more details as well in the description with my Telegram and with my chat and with my group, and of course, how you can get access to this strategy as well. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.